Hi guys, welcome back to part 3 of our Subaru car modelling techniques build series. So we're picking up where we left off last time. We primered the body. This has been drying now for about 6 hours, and we've got one of our ultra fine 3M pads, and what we're going to do now is we're going to very lightly sand over the entire body and just take off the very top level of the microfiller part of the primer. So this will remove any raised areas, any dust that will landed in there, any imperfections that may have fallen into the primer while painting, and what it will also do is give us a silky smooth surface in preparation for paint. So it's a very important stage again. You need to be very careful here, because what we don't want to do is burn through the primer. The aim of the game here isn't to go through the primer, it's just to take off the very top surface layer of primer to allow it to do its microfilling capabilities and leave us with a nice smooth flat surface in preparation for our paint. So we're just going around with no pressure whatsoever. We're not going over too much, and we're being careful of any raised areas or edges so we don't burn through the paint basically. Like I say, very important step. This will give us a silky smooth surface. You will feel a massive difference once you've done this step. It's a little bit awkward to do because of the shape of the car, so just find a quick way to hold it and just take your time. Also be careful of fingernails or anything where you can catch the paint as well, because it is very easy to chip off paint with things like that. Once we're happy we've got it all sanded back, we can hit it with our toothbrush again to get rid of the excess dust and just have a good look around for any imperfections that may still be on the primer. It could be dust, it could be hair, it could be a spit of paint, anything, just anything on there. Now is your time to get rid of it. But at this stage we should have a beautifully primed, silky smooth surface ready for our paint. And if that's what you've got, happy days. If not, it needs a bit more primer, you can go over it again by all means. Just make sure you give it adequate time to dry before sanding and painting over. And obviously don't forget all the nooks and crannies. And there we go, we are ready for some paint. So we're in the booth. Respirator on, gloves on, the boots on. We've got our Tamiya anti-static brush again to wipe over the body. We've got our spoiler mounted. We'll give that a run over the brush as well. There we go, just having a quick visual inspection. The spoiler has been sanded as well where I could get to. It's a very tricky spoiler to do. There we go. We've got our paint, which is the Subaru 2001-2006 WRC Blue from ProScale. This is the official colour for this car. So our paints are pre-mixed lacquers, so straight out the bottle they are pre-mixed. They're not overly thin like a lot of the car-based paint out there. We're using an Iwata CR3 Revolution, the same one we use for our primer, and we're at 18 psi. But yeah, our paints are thinned for coverage rather than profit. It's something we vowed to do from the very beginning. So they are very efficient at painting. You stand much less risk of getting any reactions with the plastic on the car body, but you still do need to do nice light thin coats. But I think our paint speaks for itself, especially at the end of this video. You see pictures of it, it will show the true depth and colour of our paint. So because we're putting blue paint over white primer, it's going to take a few coats again to build up coverage. So in total I reckon I'll put 7 to 8 light coats of paint down, and even without a number of coats of paint I won't even use a third of the bottle of paint. It's really efficient, covers really well, but what we don't want to do is get any wet coats of paint down. We just want nice light thin coats, and as we're priming, concentrate on getting all the nooks and crannies, wheel arches, in and around the vents, the windows, the lights, everywhere, and just do nice uniform light coats all around. So it can take a little bit of time to get used to spraying. Airbrushing is a skill that's picked up over time. It's not something you're going to be instantly brilliant at, but the more you do, the better you'll get. I've been doing this for a long time, and as we're priming, going on and off the air, as we go off the model and coming back on the air before we come on. That way we get any paint build up on the needle tip, we won't spit any paint on the model, we'll spit it away so we don't get anything landing in our paint. So again, just take your time here, no rush. This is, it's going to take a bit of time to paint, but the result we get from taking our time will speak volumes later down the line. And obviously where we've got nooks and crannies like that lower skirt and the tops of those wheel arches, you may find it beneficial to come in over the top as well, so you get nice even coverage. Now we're going to allow 5 minutes between each coat to flash off, and we're going to alternate between left and right and up and down passes on each coat. How many coats you put down is up to you. I normally put 7 to 8. That's normally more than enough for sufficient coverage. But we're just trying to get the depth of colour here. So the Watters are the perfect airbrushes for our paint and primer. The CR3, the pattern on it is absolutely perfect for paint. They are my go-to airbrushes. Literally all my airbrushes bar one are Watters. Love them. They perform flawlessly. Very surgical in the way they work. Nice and easy to clean. And just very, very reliable airbrushes to use. As you can see, that paint's going down really nice. Coverage is beautiful. We will get the full depth of colour after several coats. So we're going to just show this one. I thought I'd show the full first coat in depth, just to showing you. And like I say, these are separate videos on painting. It's not something I'd normally dwell on, but I think as it's a focus point of what we're showing, I thought I'd actually show it in real time. This is the first coat, and this is the amount of paint going down. You can see me angling the brush to getting all those bumper recesses and what have you, and all the wheel arches. But there we go. That is about it for our first coat. So we'll pop that to one side to dry for 5 minutes, let it cure and flash off. And obviously we're going to paint our spoiler at the same time. Like I said, the spoiler is a tricky one to paint, and smaller parts are more difficult as well. It's very easy to put too much paint down on a small part. So just take your time. I would go left and right and get all the major areas covered, and then come in at an angle and getting all those recesses. Like I say, this spoiler is quite a troublesome one to paint. It's got that many recesses and angles. It is quite a difficult one to get into. But with some time and care, we'll get it painted. And like I say, we are going to carbon this anyway, so there's only a little bit going to be shown that's in colour. But obviously, the better job we do, the better it is. So I'm going to show the first coat, which is this one. We're then going to skip ahead to probably midway through, about the 4th or 5th coat. As you can see, we've had a drastic change in colour. We're starting to get some lovely depth. Now this is a pearl metallic blue, and it is an absolutely stunning colour. And as I say, we're going to alternate between left and right and up and down passes. And you can see just how little paint is going down. The best way to see this is to angle the model towards any light source you've got in your spray booth, and you will literally see the paint land on the model. And that's one of my biggest tips for seeing what you're doing. You don't be doing this blind, and you just want to be literally following each pass next to each other. Like I say, we don't want wet coats. Wet coats are not beneficial to this at all. We will get our gloss coat later down the line with our 2K clear. We're going for coverage. We want nice, even depth of coverage across the body, and obviously making sure we get all those recesses along the tops of those wheel arches, the top of that skirt, in and around the bumpers, in and around the lights. Yeah, we're just concentrating on getting coverage, and that will come from the multiple coats of paint. Like I say, this is something you'll get better and better at the more you do. Just take your time and just keep going. Best advice I can give you. And as you can see, coming off every now and then for air. I don't like going on off the air going this way on the roof, because you've got a chance of spinning on the bonnet of the boot. So I don't tend to do it there. And on things like this bonnet, I'll come off the air on the pass down. So I'll go up, back, off the air, back on, up, down. So I'm not running the risk of spitting paint onto the A-pillars or the roof. Everyone's going to have different painting techniques. I've built mine up over the years. So as you can see, I'm coming off the paint at the bottom. Everyone's going to build up their own technique over the years. Mine is mine. And quite often it's a saying of do as I say, not as I do. So yeah, you'll pick up your own technique. But it is very important to go on and off the air, off the model, so you don't spit any paint on there. Because trust me, when you do it, you'll see what I mean. You'll end up with dark spots of the colour that you've then got to try and blend in to the rest of the body. But like I say, we're probably, I reckon that's the 4th or 5th coat of painting. As you can see, the blue is looking absolutely stunning. This is going to darken up a little bit more on our final coats as we come through. And I reckon we put about 7 or 8 light coats on this. Obviously, doing the spoiler at the same time as well. And again, just being careful not to, put the coat paint on too thick, and just making sure we're getting all those nooks and crannies so we get nice even coverage. Also remember, if you're doing multiple parts that are going to be next to each other, like spoilers, mirrors, bumpers, any other components, make sure you spray them all at the exact same time with the exact number of coats, because if you spray, say, a bonnet at a different time, you may notice a colour difference when you come back later down the line. Final coats now. This is it. This is probably like coat number 8. We've got beautiful blue now, looking absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful pearl metallic blue. And here we go, our final coat going down. So like I say, our paints are pre-thinned, so literally open the bottle and pour away. I find it work best through 0.2 or bigger needle. 0.3 I think is optimum. I do like the eye waters. 18 psi, they'll work from anything from 12 to 30 if you wanted. 18 psi is my go-to psi. Like I say, just nice light thin coats and you'll be good to go. On the website, we've got nearly 700 paints now in the range. We will colour match at no extra cost as well, so if you have any colours you want and we don't have them, drop us a message either on the contact form or email us on the email address on the website, and we'll try our utmost to find the colour and get it uploaded to the site. And like I say, we don't charge any extra, we just £4 a bottle. We'll put it on the site for you to buy at your leisure. Loads of other products on the site as well, and you're going to see our 2K clear coat later on, which will again transform this colour and it'll look absolutely phenomenal once it's 2K'd. There we go. You can see the coats of paint going down now. You can just see the pattern going on top. Not a lot of paint going down at all. Just nice light thin coats. Consistency is key, more than anything. We just want to keep it nice and consistent. Nice light thin coats building it up. And there we go, she's looking good. Need a little bit more paint. So if you are putting paint in midway through, make sure you shake the bottle, put the lid back on and give it a good shake, just so you mix all the pigments and the metallic flakes back up. Again, I am leaving the paint in the airbrush between coats, no problem at all. But if you leave it in there for any more than 10 minutes or so, I would recommend either tipping the paint back into the bottle and shaking it back up, or backflow the airbrush away from the model to mix the paint back up, because the metallic particles and some of the pigments can settle away from the body, from the paint, and you'll end up with maybe a slightly different colour on your last few coats. So again, consistency is key. And there we go, our final coat on that, and then a quick go over of the spoiler. And that is our beautiful 2001-2006 World Rally Blue, all painted. And there we go. That is done for part 3. I've got some pictures of this I took after it had all dried. So you can see how just nice this colour is. Decaling is next, and then clear coat. So we'll really start to bring this model alive. And there you go. Look at that beautiful blue colour. Absolutely stunning pearl metallic blue. Absolutely fantastic. So there we go. This part 3 done. We're back in part 4 very soon, where we'll be dealing with the decals on this, including some carbon decals. Thanks for watching today. If you've got any comments or questions, pop them in the comments down below. Make sure you sub to the channel, click the bell notifications to get notified of the latest videos. And if you want to become a patron, there's a link in the description down below. And as always, thanks to my current patrons for their continued support. I couldn't do this without you guys. Have a good day, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.